welcome all of you. Today we have discussed about the introduction of the spectroscopy. In our day-to-day life, many more compounds are introduced in the list of the chemistry. These compounds are the new, and these new compounds is synthesized during our project work, research work in the laboratory, and extracted and from their natural sources. But the structure of these new compounds are unknown, and the structure is very important for the chemist. Determination of the structure of this unknown compound is a very challenging task before us. Therefore, there are several methods used for determination of structure of unknown compounds, and these several methods are broadly classified into chemical methods and the physical methods. We discuss one by one of these methods. First, we discuss chemical methods. Chemical methods includes determination of functional group, means which functional group is present in unknown compound is determined by the chemical test, preparation of derivatives, qualitative analysis, elemental detections, and estimations. Means which elements other than the carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen is present in a compound is determined by the chemical test. Means other elements means nitrogen, sulfur, halogens are present or not determined by the Lysine test and synthesis of laboratory. These are all the chemical methods. Then we discuss about physical methods. Physical methods contain determination of physical constants like melting points and boiling points. We take melting points and boiling points and compare with the standard compound, then dipole moment and refractive index, determination of molecular weight, X-ray crystallography, and spectroscopic methods. These are all the instrumental techniques divided under physical methods. So, from these spectroscopic methods are the best one methods. This is because of some advantages like a very small sample is required for determination of structure of unknown compound. For example, IR spectroscopy require only 10 mg of samples. Mass spectroscopy require 20 to 30 mg of samples. Second one advantages is less time required for the analysis. Means only few minutes, 5 to 10 minutes is within a 5 to 10 minutes we recorded the spectra. Analysis of the spectra is useful for the determination of structure of compound. Next one advantages of spectroscopic methods are this gives detailed information about the structure of the compounds. Means this gives detailed information about the stereochemistry, how many carbons are present, how many hydrogens are present, and also how many double bonds and conjugations are present. This all detailed information is given by the spectroscopic methods related to the new compounds. Therefore, the spectroscopic methods is used for the chemists for determination of structure of unknown compounds. Spectroscopy is nothing but in spectroscopy, the compound is exposed to certain kinds of radiations and response is given by molecule is recorded in a form of a graph. Analysis of this graph means this is known as a spectrum. Analysis of the spectrum gives the detailed information about the structure of the molecule. So, the spectroscopy is study of responses of molecule when it is exposed to certain kinds of radiations. On the basis of absorption and emission, there are two types of spectroscopy, absorption spectroscopy and emission spectroscopy. In absorption spectroscopy, absorbed radiations are detected and in emission spectroscopy, emitted radiations are detected. We discuss about briefly the absorption spectroscopy. In absorption spectroscopy, absorbed radiations are detected, hence this name as a absorption spectroscopy. Absorption of different kinds of radiations like UV, IR, microwave, radio waves use different types of excitations in the molecule. For example, when the molecule is exposed to microwave radiation, it undergo rotational excitation. When the molecule is exposed to infrared radiation, it undergo vibrational excitation in addition to rotational excitations. When the molecule is exposed to UV radiations, it undergo electronic excitations in addition to rotational, vibrational and electronic excitations because UV radiations are the more energetic and therefore due to these three types of excitations are present in UV spectroscopy, UV spectra are broad. This is the main reason of broadening of UV spectra is there is a presence of all three types of excitations. So, depending upon the source is used, there are the following types of spectroscopies like ultraviolet spectroscopies, infrared spectroscopy, nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy, and mass spectroscopy. These all are the absorption spectroscopies. This is the electromagnetic spectrum. This spectrum of electromagnetic radiations is divided into different regions on the basis of wavelength and energies. As we move from left to right, energy goes on decreasing. As gamma rays are high energetics than comparison to the radio waves. Also, as we move from left to right, wavelength goes on increasing. So, in this way, gamma rays having the lower wavelength and radio waves having the higher wavelength. So, types of spectroscopy depends upon the wavelength of electromagnetic radiations used for analysis. When organic molecule is exposed to electromagnetic radiation, some energy absorbed by the molecule. Due to absorption, molecule undergo excitations, that is, from ground state to excited state. So, amount of energy is absorbed by the compound depends upon the wavelength of electromagnetic radiation and structure of the compound. So, this is about the basic things related to spectroscopy.